Good morning, friends. Welcome to chapel on the first snow of the year. So there we go. It is late November, I suppose. It's about time. So I hope that you are staying cozy and warm today. Glad for those of you who are here with us in this space and those who are joining us online. Know that you are always welcome here, whoever you are, whoever you know yourself to be, whoever you are becoming. For chapel today, you'll need a purple hymnal, which is available from the rack on the way in, or find a friend next to you. We have 2 hymns today, and a word about those in just a moment. Handful of quick announcements this morning, and all of them are very festive, seasonal sorts of announcements. Coming up on December 8th, that Sunday morning is our annual Jazz Lessons and Carols service. Coming up on December 15th in the evening is our annual candlelight worship service, and we are looking for volunteers to serve as readers for one or both of those services. So they both include a number of readings. We like to include a lot of voices. So if you're interested in serving as a reader for one or both of those services or want more information, let us know and we can get you signed up. Also, keep an eye out. Next week, we will have Advent kits waiting and ready for you. If you've not ever experienced this before, College Ministries puts together kits that include Advent candles and Advent devotionals, some cozy things for the season to help you as we enter into this season of watching and waiting. So we are fervently putting them together in our office right now. We have quite the assembly line, and they will be available starting next week, and all you have to do is swing by and pick one up. This morning, we are excited to welcome Senior Ethan Kunka as our chapel speaker. We're so grateful to you for sharing your words and yourself with us today. As I mentioned, a note about our hymns. Our hymns today both will reflect that today is Transgender Day of Remembrance, an annual commemoration that began in 1999 to honor Rita Hester, a trans woman who was killed in Massachusetts. And we continue to commemorate this day each year as a way of lamenting and condemning violence perpetuated against members of the trans community. And more widely, it's a day that asks us, particularly here as people of faith, to continue to honor and protect the belovedness of all God's children and to resist all powers of hate and violence in our world. As we begin today, I invite you to stand as you are comfortable and able, and let's get grounded and centered for worship together. Just take a moment to let your body hang out, to press your feet into the ground and feel the ground as it rises up to meet and support you. Find your balance and listen to your breath and find your center. Blessed be the God who makes us brave, who claims us with authentic love, who frees us from shame and fear, who calls us to disrupt the world with kindness and justice and mercy. By your Spirit, God, may we create a world that embraces every soul in its fullness. May our love be louder than hatred, may our hope be stronger than despair, and may our actions be rooted in a deep commitment to a future where every life can flourish in dignity and pride. Amen. Our opening song today, God is Love, is number 1041. Number 1041, God is Love.
God Good morning. I'm Ethan Kunka. I'm a senior here at Luther. I'm a music ed major, and I'm really glad to be speaking with you all today. This isn't my first time talking about the Created to Be theme. It's been used church-wide, including at the youth gathering this summer and at the summer camp where I worked, Flathead Lutheran Bible Camp. We have multiple sub-themes, and I was trying to figure out which one I wanted to speak on when I was leafing through an admissions brochure and saw the Luther iconic formed by connection phrase. My experience here at Luther has been steeped in many, many connections, whether it be the people that I sing next to in choir or the people that I had Paideio with, I haven't talked to since then, but every once in a while I kind of wave at them on the sidewalk. And they are really important to me, all of these connections and communities that I've created. But these communities have not always been a part of my experience at Luther. My first year at Luther, I felt pretty isolated. I knew a lot of people, and they were really friendly and kind and funny. But aside from my loving partner, Sophie, I hadn't really found anyone that I felt really deeply and authentically connected to. That spring when I left, I had a lot of questions about where had I made the right choice in my location, in career, and I left and went home to Montana to Flathead Lutheran Bible Camp. This camp is a really important part of my life. My great-grandfather was one of the founding members of this camp. My parents met there. This last summer, actually, I got to work with some people who their parents met the same summer my parents did, which was pretty cool. But it's been a really important place for me spiritually throughout my life and finding myself. This first summer that I worked at camp was really important for me. I met a lot of really cool people from around the Midwest who went to many different small private colleges, Gustavus, St. Olaf, Bethel, and I found that a lot of them, no matter where they were in their collegiate career, had a similar experience to me that first year. It's hard to find your people, and at that camp, I began to learn just how you have to work to make those connections. A lot of times in my life, I had felt like community should be easy. I shouldn't have to work that hard at it, right? It should just kind of come. But at that summer, I realized that there were a lot of people who maybe I don't agree with on everything, but have a lot of important things that they can share with me. So when I returned to Luther, I brought that thought process with me. I began attending events that I would have been nervous at in the past. I would have felt left alone. I started inviting people to do things that in the past I would have done by myself, and I started working a lot harder in my classes. Slowly, I began to find community. I began to find that people were willing to put in the work if I was willing to put in the work to be together. Whether that's in the small groups, like the little group that meets every Monday night for Emmaus and sings Holy Evening Prayer. Anyone who wants to join us, it's great, good Luther composer. Or the hundreds of people that I've now sang within all of my Luther choral experience, and especially Nordic choir. These communities have meant so much to me, and last summer I really got a chance to celebrate some of those communities. I went to Norway and spent a lot of time with incredible people, a lot of people that I had known for 3 years, and some people that I met while I was there. And then I came and worked at Dorian summer music camps and really got to meet a lot of people in the Luther music education world, whether they're alumni, staff, or students like myself. After all of these everything that those 2 years gave me as far as communities, I returned to FLBC, Flathead Lutheran Bible Camp. It had been 2 years since I'd been there, and I really didn't know anyone, but I was really excited to go back. And that was when I first got to learn about being created to be a disciple. Every Thursday, we did Bible study on this sub-theme, and we read this verse from Matthew. Are you tired, worn out, burnt out on religion? Come to me. Get away with me and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. A lot of my campers heard that and thought it sounded kind of like an infomercial. That's kind of a funny phrasing. That's The Message by Eugene Peterson. It's in modern language. You maybe have been more likely to have heard, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." What does this tell us about being a disciple? These verses make it seem like being a disciple is easy. You come to Jesus, you lay down your burdens, and things are easier. That set off a lot of warning bells in my brain after these past 2 years, because I've learned that being in community, being a disciple is not easy, and it shouldn't be easy. And Jesus knows that. Jesus' life was not easy. So what is he really saying here? I talked to a lot of people about this, and what I've come to realize is that when you read that verse, you have to read it thinking about community. Jesus is inside of everyone around you. Everyone reflects God's face. And the people around you in community are those that you can lay your burden down on, and they can help you and make your life more easy. This also means that we also have to be that light of Jesus to others. And I've started to read it when I hear, "Come unto me." That's not coming from Jesus saying that to me, but I am saying that to others. "Come unto me, all that ye that are labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Communities are such an important part of our experience here at Luther, and I'm sure that we all have our own experiences with how we've come to know others around us and the hard work that can be. And I just want to say that these communities do work, that as I've come to know more people, it has become easier to be here. And I hope that I have made other people's lives slightly more easy in my own way through community. We can all work together to form these connections and create a better world. Yeah.
Our closing hymn today is number 1038, and as you're making your way to it, there are 4 verses. We will sing all 4 verses, but we will only sing the refrain after verses 2 and 4. I trust you. You all can do this. So verses 1, 2, refrain, 3, 4, refrain, and I invite you to stand as we sing number 1038, "God, we gather as your people." And now, eternal God, your word brought forth creation. Your spirit brings love and order and community. Breathe upon us that we can hear one another with language we understand. Pour out your spirit upon us, build us into one holy community, and remind us that we are united in Jesus Christ, in whom we are known and loved and accepted. Amen. Go in peace, carry one another's burdens. Thanks be to God.